Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the regular May 2020 meeting of the Canfield Board of Education. Let's see, we've got a pretty large agenda today, a lot on the agenda, so this will probably go a little bit longer than normal. But let's get it started. Patty, can you do roll call, please?
Mr. Wilkinson, President.
Here.
Mrs. DiCaprio, Vice President.
Here.
Mr. Atway.
Here.
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mrs. Klucher.
Here.
Okay, we're going to do the pledge. We'll see how well we can do this with this many people. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I'm getting much better at figuring that out. Okay, next, this is the largest presentation of minutes in my entire history on the school board. We have minutes from the regular meeting on April 8th, the special meeting on the 20th, the 27th, and the 30th of April, the special meeting minutes from May 5th, May 6th, May 7th, May 9th, May 12th, and May 13th. This has got to be some sort of a record. Can I have a motion to approve all of those minutes?
Klucher, motion to accept all the minutes from the regular meeting April 8th and then all the special meetings following as presented.
Can I have a second?
Nader, I will second.
And there's 9 special meetings and 1 regular meeting. Any discussion of those minutes? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mrs. DiCaprio.
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson.
Yes. Okay. Now we're going to do the principal's reports. We're also going to have Terry Hutchison talk about food service and Renee English talk about communications. So I don't know which one of you guys drew the short straw and who wants to start.
I drew the short straw, Dave, so I guess I'll start. That's okay.
Okay. Yep.
We have so many things on the agenda that we could talk about. We tried to narrow it down. Rich Shields is going to talk in a few minutes about how our students are going to safely pick up materials that they had actually left in their lockers in the school and how they're going to drop off textbooks. He did a great job. We worked on it together, but he did a magnificent job figuring that out. So he's going to talk about that and then surveys. But we will have our last day of instruction for our underclassmen on May 29th. That is the evening of the remote graduation on the Jumbotron at the high school. So we're very excited about that. We talked to our PTA. Our PTA usually has an awards ceremony in the evening where they give out academic awards. We will be giving those to seniors who are going to come in on the 27th to the high school. They're not actually coming in the high school. They're just coming in the little foyer there in the front, and we'll have some tables set up. And again, we'll give them their materials from their lockers. They'll turn books in, and we'll give them their PTA awards along with a variety of other things that we can give them. But they're coming in a little bit at a time, and Rich will talk more about that as we move on. We also gave department awards. When you hear the seniors announced on the remote graduation, you'll hear Billy Smith, summa cum laude, and we'll also announce awards like department awards, like outstanding math student, outstanding science student, things of that nature. So we hope, to recognize them that way. We've already recorded. I know George Malich has done a magnificent job of organizing that, and I just want to publicly thank George for all the work that he's done and will continue to do. We still have to announce our scholarships. Many local scholarships have been coming in. The guidance department has been working daily. They're in almost every day, and I can't even begin to tell you what a great job they've done. They've really gone above and beyond. It's important that I single out a few people. Anthony Holben and Candy Reed, our senior class officers, have been working again tirelessly, many days and nights, trying to organize the whole situation here, the graduation at the end of the year. I couldn't be more proud of them, and I just hope if you see them, you certainly give them a pat on the back, because they've gone above and beyond, and it's very impressive. To all the teachers, I'm just astounded that we were able to pivot in a couple of days. And although things weren't flawless, they certainly were very, very good. And I just want to thank the teachers. Rich and I have been in contact with them through a Google Doc, and we do talk to them daily about issues and trying to solve problems and things like that. But my staff at the high school, I just couldn't be more proud of them and what they've been able to do. Rich Shields is going to talk in a minute here. It's amazing, again, the work that he has done. He's there constantly helping to solving problems on his own, and he has just done a wonderful, wonderful job. I'm just thrilled that he's there and we're working together. It's really great. What we're doing now is once the graduation is over, and we've already started work on looking at the 2021 school year and what that might look like. We have a number of plans, a remote plan, a blended learning plan, things of that nature. So as everybody else, our plates are really full and we continue to work hard. Rich, you're up.
Thanks, Mike. Mike was talking about how the students are going to come pick up their stuff. Basically, I worked with the maintenance department, and they're clearing out the lockers. Travis and Joe so graciously donated some paper bags with handles that they had ordered to us. We're putting their name on them and taking everything that's out of the locker. And we've got the main entrance foyer, and we created a schedule that's going to have, very few students there at a time. One student in the foyer at a time, social distancing outside, no contact at all. Everything will be on the table. They'll walk in and pick it up. But actually, they'll walk in, they'll drop off their stuff first, and then they'll go to the other end of the entrance foyer and pick up their stuff on their way out the other door. Entrance one way, exit the other way. It appears that it'll run very well. I hope. We've got the seniors all set up, ready to go in the hallway right now, and it's just a matter of moving them into that foyer on the day, the 27th, next week for them. We sent that schedule out yesterday to the community. We did an all call as well. We've received several emails, verifying some things, and it seems to have gone off without a hitch thus far. Great questions that they've asked, and we've replied and resolved those issues that came up. We also started to work, the admin team together. We're putting together a staff survey as well as a parent survey that is going to be the same for all of the district. And then in each individual building, we're going to create an individual survey and we're all in collaboration with that. We're gonna, finalize that within the next couple of days, but we're 90% complete with that. And we're going to do it on a Google form, and it should be, very, very easily maintained and easily, what's great about Google Forms is that it tracks your data right for you. So we'll have the data of, what was successful, what kind of barriers we ran into this year, what we might need to look for, moving forward for a plan for next year. So that's kind of where we are. More to report next month based on, how those sorts of things go on.
Okay.
Yeah, Judd, you're next.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm gonna start out. We had a good meeting today this week with Mike and our guidance counselor to talk about the end of the year and see what we need to do. So we'll start out with May 28th. We at the end of the year, we always have an awards assembly and talent show. We decided to piggyback off what the high school's doing, and we reached out to those parents, and we are going to hand deliver plaques to all those award winners. So we have the Ken Reel, Archie Griffin, the perfect attendance, and an outstanding student helper. We already reached out to the parents, and that's going to be next Thursday, May 28th. Larry's going to give us a couple school vans. We have teachers that want to come too, and we're going to do a social distance awards assembly. The parents were very thrilled and honored that we wanted to present it to them that way, and we're excited. It's going to be a surprise to the award winners, but we want to make sure the families knew how to handle that. So really excited about that day. May 29th is going to be the same as the high school. It's going to be end of any new work for our middle schoolers. We're going to focus the following few days of any makeup work, maybe doing some fun activities for the kids and things like that. So May 29th for the middle school as new work as well. June 1st to June 4th is going to be a big week for the middle school. Mr. Flood is working with the committee to empty out all the lockers with some volunteers in the building. We also ordered 1,000 bags to pack those up too. We're going to use the conference time app, which we're actually it'll be good because we're going to use that in the fall. We're going to pilot that in the fall for our building and see how that looks. But we're going to use that time, and we're going to have 4 days, 2 p.m. sessions and 2 a.m. sessions that week. And they're going to be 15-minute increments. We'll have about 8 families come in. They'll wait, get their names, and we'll hand deliver their things to them without going into the building. So we'll keep everybody out of the building except our runners. We had a volunteer list for our teachers. Within minutes, every time slot was filled up. So I'm very happy that our teachers are willing to participate and help out in that. And so, and then outside the circle there, we're going to have drop-offs for library books, pickups for yearbooks, 8th grade T-shirts. So we're going to have different stations throughout that circle there and drive-by, pick up, and drop off. We have over 1,000 library books for about $19,000. So it's really important that we want to make sure we get those books back, and we want to focus on that. So we'll have a tent set up with a box underneath there. And then finally, we're going to do a parade. We've had our resource officers and Josh Wells involved with all these traveling activities. So Tim Lampy will be following us for those awards. And then we're going to have a reverse parade at Fair Park with the help of the police department. And all the teachers will be invited. We'll be able to park there. And all the 8th grade parents and their students are going to drive around the U at Fair Park, and we'll be able to do a proper send off for our 8th graders. So we're excited about some of those end of the year activities for our kids. And then again, and then finally, just we're forming a committee together with our building to talk about the fall and what we'll look like. We'll have representatives from grade levels, music, expressive arts, nurse, and so we'll have and Tim Lamping. We'll be able to talk about some of the social distance and whatever we need to do. So we miss our kids to death. We really do. And we can't wait to start seeing some of those faces again. Thank you.
I'll just make a comment to that real quick before someone else speaks. Just thank you guys, because of knowing that I have an 8th grader and that milestone of getting into the high school, we appreciate your efforts in trying to make this a nice transition as best as you can. So they're excited about that. Thank you.
No problem. We're happy to do it.
I guess I'm up next. Mike, you have nothing?
No, Mr. Rubin, he kind of said it all, so go ahead.
Okay. May 12th, we had a car parade through the city of Canfield. I think every one of our teachers showed up. We drove around the city, escorted by Officer Lamping, Officer Garska. It was great to see our kids. You really miss them, but until you see them again, you don't know how much you miss them. So it was nice to drive around, see our kids, see our parents. That was a really great thing on May 12th. I want to thank again Canfield Police for their assistance in setting up the route and leading the parade. Our teachers met on the 13th and 14th to schedule students into classes for next year. So the majority of that scheduling is done. And I want to thank our teachers for giving up their time to do that. We feel really bad for our fourth graders. I mean, they're missing out on a lot of things that we normally do. We have an awards assembly. We have a clap out. We do a lot of things for fourth grade. And we had a teacher come up with an idea. Jessica Amodio, who's a first grade teacher, came up with the idea of getting blank yard signs and having the fourth graders decorate them with their name and other information about themselves. And we are putting those around the marquee at Hilltop. I think there were 10 or 12 when I left this morning. So we should have about 100 signs outside the building decorated by kids because we can't do a lot of the things that we've done. So that's going to be a way that we recognize our fourth grade students. Also had a conversation with Mr. Lavery today about possibly doing our fourth grade video on a Jumbotron. He may talk a little bit more about that since he's heading that up. But I think that'd be a nice thing to do for our fourth graders also. Our staff will be coming in the week of June 1st through 4th to pack up their rooms and to pack up student materials. Again, we bought bags for them to pack up their student materials. They'll do that the week of June 1st through 4th. And then the following week, the week of the 8th, we will have all the bags set outside by grade one day at a time. So kindergarten or fourth grade will be on the 8th, and we'll have hopefully nice weather. We can set those bags outside. Parents can drive up, grab their bag. No one comes into the building. We maintain social distancing. We'll do fourth grade on the 8th, third grade on the 9th, and so on all the way through. We'll also have a box at the end to collect library books. Mrs. Hawkins Smith told me we may have close to 3,000 library books out, so we will need to collect those. We'll also have someone out there collecting, I believe we have 35 Chromebooks and a couple hotspots out, so we'll have someone out there collecting those also so we can maintenance any of those that we need an inventory, what we have and what we don't have. They'll also be getting their yearbooks in that bag, and we're planning on also having report cards in that bag. So get all that information out to our students the week of June 8th. Lastly, we are also putting together a committee of teachers to look at how we open successfully next fall, look at possibilities of social distancing, remote learning, blended learning. And obviously there are a lot of smart people out there. I've got a lot of smart people at Hilltop, and we're going to work together to come up with a plan that we can do this successfully. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Travis Lavery. I'm the principal at C.H. Campbell Elementary School here in Canfield. We also had a car parade as well where we were touring through the city. Big thanks go out to our teachers for helping organize that entire thing, as well as working with Canfield PD to get that taken care of. Our fourth grade also every year has a talent show that they put on where the kids come up on stage and they demonstrate whatever their talent is. Obviously, this year we're not going to be able to do that, but we are going to be having a virtual talent show. So all of our fourth graders have been recording their acts at home. They've been sending them in. We've been getting a chance to take a look at them for the past couple weeks, and we're splicing all that together so that we can put that information up on YouTube and have a little virtual talent show for our kids. We also have some other fourth grade events that we're working on. Mr. Maroney mentioned we always have a memory video that's put together. It kind of walks through the kids' life at the elementary school from kindergarten all the way through fourth grade. Pretty touching, pretty memorable video. We are working on some details to try and have kind of like a drive-in theater type display for people to come in and view that. We are also, there's a few things we need to iron out before we can do that, but we're working on that right now. Also looking at some other events for them to try and send them off correctly with a similar idea to the clap out type thing. So we're going to be looking at that, similar to what Mr. Rubin had mentioned earlier. So we've got a couple of things that we're working on right now with staff and with some of our PTA members to try and get going. Parent pickup for all the student materials, similar to the elementary Over at Hilltop, we are going to be going on June 8th through the 12th, and parents will be coming in by grade level, kindergarten on Friday, fourth grade on Monday, and filling in the rest. So they'll come in, they'll pick up all that information, report cards, drop off library books, drop off technology, pick up yearbooks, fourth grade t-shirts, pick up t-shirt fundraisers that we had. So everything, our goal is to have everything that kids needed to kind of wrap up this school year together in those packs for kids to pick up. So people will be coming in to pick those up that week of June 8th through the 12th. We do have instruction continuing on through May 29th. And then that last week will be used for some fun activities with teachers, trying to do as much fun as they can virtually with the kids to try and say goodbye and also give kids a chance to finish up any work or anything else that they have. So working a lot on meeting with teachers for preparations for next year, working on class lists, working on some planning for what that's going to look like, as well as working with the administrative team to try and get a clear picture of what options we're going to have available to us next year and trying to see what the best solutions are going to be for our community. So definitely been a busy month of May, but it's definitely been a good one. And yeah, we couldn't miss our kids more. It's not the way we definitely wanted to end the year, but we're kind of taking it in stride. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm also going to make one more comment to Mr. Lavery, Mr. Maroney, just because I also have a fourth grader transitioning into the middle school. So we appreciate your efforts on behalf of the fourth grade and trying to make that as smooth and as maintaining the excitement level in that transition too. So thank you.
So Nader, I think you have one transitioning into every grade level.
Yes. So I've got a lot of transitions. So they're mad at me. They're missing out on a lot of stuff. And then to the high schoolers, I mean, I know that was a big project in regards to, I don't have a senior, but I also understand that and appreciate your efforts there. So thank you all around.
Nader, are you done talking?
I'm done now. Well, Dave's been
right,
on mute, and I don't think he noticed he was on mute. So that's why I felt like I had to take over for a few minutes.
No, I mean, we appreciate all the administrators. I mean, what you guys have done the last couple months have been awesome. You know, I have kids myself, one at the high school now, one at the middle school, and, you know, they've been on task. I think anybody that's not in education has a deeper appreciation of what both administrators and teachers do. So just on behalf of everybody, thank you very much.
Yeah, and I echo that. And by the way, I wasn't trying to talk when I was on mute. I knew I was on mute. Yeah, so my sophomore is behind me weed whacking, so I'm trying to keep it quiet here. But I echo what everybody said, so for sure. Terry, you want to go next? Terry Hutchison?
Sure, I'll go. So just talk a little bit about our lunch program that we're still providing for the students on Mondays. So this week we featured Dairy Queen. We gave the students vouchers as they came through. Picked up a couple new families. We're serving lunch on Tuesday instead of Monday after Memorial Day. And Secretary of Agriculture extended the waivers so we could now serve our students until August 31st. I mean, that's if everyone's in agreement with that. I do have staff members that would volunteer to come in and still do that up until that date. United Way came in again and donated another $10, $50 gift card for us to give to some of the families in need. I think, like I said, we're doing about 500 lunches, about 80 families, about 500 lunches. They seem to enjoy coming through. A lot of them, even though they're not, it's not a mandate now that they bring their students with them. A lot of them do. So it's kind of nice to see the kids come through. We did have a high schooler this past week that lost their father. I think on Saturday she lost her father, and she had her uncle come in to into the line to pick up a couple of lunches for the family. She was real grateful that there was still a little bit of stability there for her. But all in all, we have a good time doing it, and as long as you allow me, I'll keep going on Mondays. and giving the kids the 5 days lunches. So that's up to everybody. That's about all I have.
Thank you so much, Terry, for doing that for everybody. Amazing.
It's a lot of
Terry, I can't express. There aren't any words. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. We have a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Kids.
Amazing work,
Yeah, and I
Terry.
think as long as we've got people in need, I mean, I'm all for helping. And again, I'll extend. You know, if you guys need help, I'm sure that there are many in the community that would be happy to come in as well and volunteer. You know, to do anything. So if you need that, please let us know, and I'm sure that I can help find you some people, including myself and probably the rest of the board. So.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Renee?
So we're getting lots of questions, and I feel like I'm driving the administration crazy, but they're so quick to respond to the requests we get over social media and via the website. The biggest question we're getting is about graduation and how people will know where everybody is. So we are going to be doing live updates on Facebook and Twitter to the best of our ability, according to each route, as to where to expect them. George Malich is working diligently on the graduation video. We've recorded parts of it already, and we're very excited for how that's going to turn out. We're working right now on the annual report calendar that gets mailed to all of the homes in Canfield. So that will go out in August, as it usually always does. We're going to continue having the website as the hub of communication. Lots of people are asking how will they know what's happening over the summer, and we're going to direct everything there. As we get updates, we'll put it on the website and social media. And I'm happy to report that we are getting lots of questions over social media, and our Facebook page was up 179% last week with 3,300 views of the videos with the superintendent candidates. So that was the first time we've ever tried a Facebook Live, and I would say it was successful, and thank you to everybody who was involved. And that's about it for communications.
Thank you. It was successful other than our little YouTube crashing all across. And by the way, I don't want to take this down too far path, but I heard it had something to do with some major release of some music video. Yeah, so we were competing with some music. So between our views and that, we crashed YouTube. So, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, that's a first. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed at how many people went back and watched what was cut, that afterwards part. I mean, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I watched until it was cut, and then they're like, and the next day I went and I watched, the third speaker. So I liked that. I thought it was great.
Yeah, we had 210 surveys on the one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
that got cut off. And that got cut off the next morning. So if people were still watching the recordings after, there probably would have been more, but we had to collect the data at some point.
Yeah, it went till the night, right? It went that following day. So yeah.
Whole next day for sure. And I think I didn't cut off the actual. Renee cut it off the website before I actually closed the survey to collect responses.
Yeah, that was a really good project, and Renee and George and everybody else that worked on that. That was, I know, a lot of work, and it was great. John Vito, you're here somewhere, right? Yep.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Give us I can. Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So we have been busy in my department with end of the year meetings, mostly focused on the kids that need summer programming. And we have mostly been discussing that as remote delivery. We, in my office, also have been busy on the needs assessment and the CCIP, which is the vehicle which we are able to obtain our federal and state funds. And we also were able to have all of our special education aides receive the training to become registered behavior technicians, or RBTs. They participated in the 40 hours of training. We were able to use this time to get that training for them. So that was a highlight. And that's pretty much it.
Great. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. I know that it's this is definitely hard on these, especially the special ed families. I think it's extremely difficult, some of the situations. So whatever we're doing to help is great there.
Absolutely. I'm going to
for
chime
sure.
in, Dave, because I can attest to that, and thanking Mr. Maroney and the Hilltop staff for what I'm getting for my son. And I just got some help from them for some extra help from another agency outside the house. So I really appreciate that our school is helping parents, not just with school services, but also agency help for outside of school. So.
Yeah. Well, it's kudos to everybody. All good things. I know there's been some hiccups along the way, and there probably will continue to be hiccups. But we're definitely in uncharted territory here, and sounds like we're going to continue in uncharted territory through the fall. So we'll have to keep working diligently to try and come up with 5 or 6 or 10 different plans that maybe one of them will fly with whatever the governor tells us we have to do. So we'll continue to keep working on that. I know myself, and I think the rest of the board is all getting a lot of feedback about the fall. And I don't know if you administrators are getting that as well. I've certainly directed people to give you guys feedback as well. But I think it's going to be definitely a project throughout the summer to try and figure out how this is going to work, through, the administrators, the teachers, the rest of the staff, the board, and parents as well. I mean, I think this is a very difficult thing to figure out without knowing as little as we really know about how this really needs to play out in the fall. So, and hopefully we get some more detail there too. That would be great if we found some things out from the state too. I'm sure that would make everybody happy. Okay, you guys can hang out or drop off. I think however you guys want to do that is fine. So thanks.
Thank you, guys.
One thing that I forgot to mention, if you want to make comments, we found that the Google Form vehicle during our superintendent search or superintendent interviews, we opened up all 3 Facebook and YouTube and this Google Form, and we found that the form was most used. So we're going to kind of continue that, I think, for our board meetings. On the YouTube channel and on the web page, there is a link that takes you to that form. It requires you to fill out your name and address because that's required under school policy to make comments. But if you go in there, you can post your comment or your questions or whatever, and we'll read those. And if we can answer them or whatever, we will do the best we can there. But that is out there, and it is on the YouTube chat window, so you can just click on that. And we'll be dealing with comments right after the treasurer's report, so we do have some time there for you to get your comments in. So with that, Patty, the floor is yours on treasurer's reports for April.
Okay. I'd like to skip the cash summary unless anybody has questions on it. Nothing really eventful on that. And go right to the appropriation summary. We are 83% of the fiscal year. We are at that point of 10 months. And we have spent 81% of the budget So we are still on track. It's the revenue side that's really going to hurt us when we got cut from the state. So I did have a few appropriation amendments that I know already. We can kind of get out of the way before the June meeting. Most of them were just the federal grants, which they adjusted by small dollar amounts as they do every year. And then the OHSAA tournament fund, the first one listed, Fund 022, it's just adjusted to the actual activity we have in those tournaments, which you never really know at the beginning of the year. So we will need a motion at the end of my report to approve these amendments. Does anybody have any questions on those amendments? This is the first set of amendments we've done since the appropriations were adopted in September. No questions? Check payment register. There aren't a whole lot of items. As you know, we were kind of shut down. 2 pages. Really didn't have any to discuss. The first 3 items are payrolls. Everything else is kind of normal, usual payroll related items or utilities, a few repair items. The purchase orders, same kind of thing. We didn't have too many new ones this month, but the new items do start on page 15, I think. And I wanted to point out one on page 16 at the very top, bills, service, and sales for $8,400. We did purchase a new zero-turn mower, trying to keep the equipment cycling, the old stuff out and not. So we bought that at the request of the maintenance department. Did anybody have any questions on any of the outstanding purchase orders? They said there weren't that many new ones. And the investment report, a few items dropped off. I have not purchased any new items, just leaving the stuff in the money market accounts at this point. And interest rates don't look like they will be going up anytime soon, so not looking forward to the investment income for next year. The projections are going to be much lower than this year. There's no question. Need a motion to approve the reports and specifically the appropriation amendments.
Do you want to do that as 2 separate motions?
Not necessarily. Or? No.
Okay.
Just make sure you comment that part of it.
Yep. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve both the treasurer's report and the appropriation amendments listed in the report?
Nader Atway can make a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented along with an appropriations amendment as well.
Can I have a second?
Campbell, second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Okay, so now we're at our comments section, and it doesn't, let's see, there's no comments on YouTube. And doesn't look like there's any comments on the forum either. Okay, so I guess we're just going to continue here. I'll keep an eye on this, and if somebody is a straggler, since I forgot to announce it right at the top of the meeting, we could probably fit it back in. But okay, we're on to student resolutions, and who's going to volunteer to do the resolutions? I kind of think it should be the new guy. It's kind of like a hazing thing, Matt.
Who would that
He has
be?
a lot of birds.
Yeah. And plus we'll have birds in the background.
Yeah, it'll be better. So you have those up? You know what I'm talking about here?
Now let me pull them up.
It's
Under exhibits.
that.
No, it was a separate.
No, it's the one that just came in the email today at 2:00. Isn't it? No, I'm sorry. That was something else.
I think it was yesterday.
It was, yeah.
But it's student resolutions 69-2020 through 84-2020. It's in a Word document.
Let me see.
If you don't have it, I won't keep picking on you.
No. So you'd like me to read that?
You have to read that whole thing. Yep.
Yeah, all
kidding.
3 pages. No, I had to do it before.
Holy criminy. Okay. All right. So student resolutions, May 20th, 2020. Whereas Morgan Prather was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earning a second place in sculpture and second place in ink drawing. And whereas Morgan Prather earned a gold medal award and national recognition in the 2020 Scholastic Art and Writing Competition. And whereas Mara Guerreri earned the silver medal at the National Scholastic Art and Writing Competition. And whereas Stefani Marciniak was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned a first place in oils. And whereas Stefania Marciniak was selected to participate in the Ohio Governor's Youth Art Exhibition, where Stefania's piece was one of 300 works selected from more than 1,100 high schools statewide and will be on display at the James A. Rhodes State Office Tower in Columbus. And whereas Jenna Allender was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned a first place in watercolors, first place in ceramics, and honorable mention in ceramics. And whereas Emma Dodig Trahuski was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned second place in pencil drawing. And whereas Elizabeth Facemeyer was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned second place in acrylics and honorable mention in charcoal. And whereas Abigail Fayex was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned first place in charcoal and best of show runner-up. And whereas Connor Fayux was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned District Award and third place in illustration. And whereas Nate Ghosty was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned first place in acrylics. And whereas Elena Havrilla was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned first place in colored pencil and third place in acrylics. And whereas Kate Cadillac was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned third place in acrylics. And whereas Amna Khan was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned first place in charcoal. And whereas Alina Martin was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned first place in ceramics, an honorable mention in ceramics. And whereas Ella Mitchell was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned first place in collage. And whereas Isabella Morhart was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned second place in charcoal. And whereas Sydney Russell was selected to exhibit at the Mahoney County Schools Annual Art Show and earned first place in colored pencil. Therefore, it is resolved that these individuals be commended for these outstanding accomplishments and that these resolutions be spread upon the official minutes of the Canfield Board of Education and that copies be presented to them.
Good job. You only butchered a couple, but that was hard. Those were hard. And we apologize for anybody whose name got butchered there. Can I have a motion to approve those student resolutions number 69-2020 through number 84-2020?
DeCapua makes a motion to approve the student resolutions.
Kluchar, second.
Great. Any discussion? I just like to say, you know, I looked at the art. I mean, it's very impressive stuff as usual. We have some really talented children, kids in our district, and it's impressive as usual. I'm always jealous because I can't draw a stick figure. So,
Well, and I'm sure the video does not, as we all saw, the video does not do the artwork justice.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I really miss going to the art show that we always have up there at the high school and browsing around and seeing that. That's definitely something that it's a shame we can't do this year.
It's absolutely a disservice to our student artists, whether it be fine arts or you know, and in this case visual art, that, you know, our students work so hard and yet it only gets presented in video or in picture. And hopefully someday soon we can go and enjoy it in person. But yeah, I'm like you said, Dave, very, very impressed with the talent of our kids. Always, they amaze me, and not surprising, but they just still continue to amaze me.
The only silver lining in all that is I noticed that some of them drew inspiration from all of this. So I thought that was interesting. There was definitely some interesting takes on that in that art. So that was neat. So with that, can I have a roll call, please, Patty?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Scapula?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. All right, one last check here to make sure we don't have any comments. I see the test comment from George, and that's it. Okay, so we know it works. So we don't have any comments. So we're just going to continue with new business. John?
Okay, thank you, Dave. First of all, good job, Matt, for being put on the spot like that. You did a great job. All right, first item, personnel, hiring, license. Jacqueline Chapman for the high school math, effective 2020 to 2021.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the hiring of Jackie Chapman, CHS math teacher, effective 2020 through 2021? That's exhibit number 1A.
Mr. Atway will make the rest of the motion to hire Jackie Chapman for Exhibit 1A and CHS math teacher, effective 2020 to 21 school year.
Can I have a second? Tracy raised her hand, so I'll take that as a second.
DeCapua seconds. You muted me.
Yeah, there's noise. I muted Mike too, but I'll unmute him when we're done, so he can say a few words. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Mr. Moldovan, you want to say a couple words?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Wilkerson. We interviewed Jackie a few weeks ago. And then John Tooley and I interviewed her, and we had 10 candidates who we narrowed our list down to and actually interviewed all 10 of those. So we were very, very thrilled that Jackie was in the mix, and she just kind of blew us away. She's a very young person coming out of Youngstown State. She worked in our middle school as a student teacher and worked with Mrs. Dwyer and I think another math teacher, although I'm not sure. And we're just very excited. I think you guys will really, really enjoy her. She has got an infectious personality, a ton of energy, and we're just real, real happy to have her on board. And I want to thank the board for approving her to be our new math teacher.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks. Next, Krista Johnson, CVMS math teacher, effective the 2020-2021 school year. That's your exhibit 1B.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve Krista Johnson as CVMS math teacher effective 2021 as written in exhibit 1B?
Yes, Matt Campbell motions to accept Krista Johnson, CVMS math teacher effective 2021 school year.
DeCapua seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes. Mr. Rubin, you want to say
Sure.
something?
We're very fortunate. We have I guess you would call him a secret spy at YSU. I don't know if you remember Mr. Infante. Ron Infante was a middle school principal at Canfield for a lot of years, and he is now a student teaching advisor at YSU. And so he always keeps a lookout every time we have an opening. Mr. Tullio and I usually reach out to him and say, math opening, science up, keep your ears out. And he recommended this Krista Johnson and said it's one of the best student teachers he's ever had. We had a committee that interviewed her with some math teachers and our math coach. And then when we decided that she was the best candidate, Mr. Tullio got to spend some time with her in the office. And together, like we made the right choice. She's a outstanding young lady, a lot of energy. She's all in with Canfield. Has CPM experience in her student teaching, and she just pretty much checked all the boxes for we feel is a great personality and a great person to fill that 7th grade math spot. So we appreciate the opportunity to keep letting us hire these great outstanding teachers to just make us better and better every year.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great.
I'd just like to add, Dave, that I had an opportunity to interview with both of these young ladies, and I have to say I was super impressed. It's probably one of the best interviews I've had over my years in education with these two young ladies. I'm excited about the future of Canfield High School and middle school in their math departments, that these two young ladies are just going to carry on the tradition of excellence in that department. Kudos to both administrators for going through the time, taking the time and effort, and interviewing different candidates. We appreciate that. Moving on, go to B, under new personnel, the hiring of the elementary summer school teachers. Pamela Barnes, Renee English, Sherry Muno, Samantha Charler, Logan Todd, and Carol Young.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the hiring of these 6 listed teachers as elementary summer school teachers at $25 an hour?
Kluchar moves to hire the 6 elementary teachers for summer school.
Campbell seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes. John?
E, hiring the 2020 middle school summer school teacher, Sarah Dicer.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve Sarah Dysert as our middle school summer school teacher at $25 an hour?
DeCapua makes the motion for Sarah Dicer to hire at the middle school summer school teacher at $25 an hour.
Kluchar second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Otway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Moving on, hiring Success by Six staff at $25 an hour, Lisa Zetz and Marissa Betts.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to hire Lisa Zetz and Marissa Betts as our Success by Six staff at $25 an hour?
Yeah, Matt Campbell motions to hire Lisa Zetz, Marissa Betts for the Success by Six staff at $25 per hour.
The cap was seconds. That could be an advertisement, just saying. Zets and bets, but you know.
And if I remember right, that Success by Six is funded outside the district. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
United Way.
It's United
Yeah.
Way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great perk there. Roll call, please.
Mr. Otway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Next, we have a leave of absence for our licensed staff. First one, we have two. The first one is Chelsea Moransky, unpaid parental leave following the use of her sick leave, returning for the 2021-2022 school year. That's Exhibit 2.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve Chelsea Moransky's requested unpaid parental leave?
Kluchar moves to accept Chelsea Moransky's leave of absence for next school year.
The cap was seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Otway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
The second request is from Patrice Marie, an unpaid medical leave for up to 2 years, effective at the beginning of the 2021 school year. Exhibit 2B.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the unpaid medical leave for up to 2 years for Patrice Laree starting next school year?
Mr. Atway will make the motion to accept the unpaid medical leave for Patrice Laree for up to 2 years, beginning of the 2021 school year.
Campbell seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Otway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Wilkerson?
Yes.
Hiring classified summer help. We have Wendy Racky at the middle school summer secretary at $8.70 per hour, 5 hours per day. We have Kathy Palumbo, Hilltop summer secretary at $8.70 per hour, 5 hours per day. Lisa Helmick, PH Campbell summer secretary, $8.70 per hour, 5 hours per day.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the 3 people listed for the 3 summer secretary positions?
Kluchar motions. Kluchar will move to hire the 3 secretaries for classified summer help.
The cap was seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson.
Yes.
Hiring the extended time, that's your exhibit 3 as presented.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the extended time hiring listed in Exhibit 3, please?
Matt Campbell, motions to approve the extended time. Exhibit number 3.
DeCapua seconds.
We have the Birds also nodding their approval.
Matt's Bird.
Yeah. Can I have a roll call, please, Patty?
Mr. Atway,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Ms. Klucher,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson.
Yes.
Moving on, approve the assistant treasurer's contract amendment and approve 12-week parental leave beginning approximately June 19th, 2020 for Ashley Rink, and that's your exhibit number 4.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the amendment to assistant treasurer's contract as listed in Exhibit number 4, please?
DeCapua, so, no, I'm first.
I'm sorry. I defer, please, to
Okay.
DeCapua.
Yeah, DeCapua makes the motion for the assistant treasurer's contract amendment 5/2020.
And I shall second.
Oh, thanks.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
You're on mute,
Mr.
Matt.
Campbell.
No, he isn't. He's letting the birds answer.
All the birds. All the birds.
Mrs. DeCapua,
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkinson.
Yes.
Hire Larry Cabezzo as coordinator of transportation at $31.25 per hour, pending approval of the MOU with the Teamsters. And before you move on that, Mr. Wilkinson, we just got word late this afternoon that the MOU was accepted by the Teamsters.
Great. That's good news. And are we, well, let's get the motion. So based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the hiring of Larry Cabezzo as coordinator of transportation, pending approval of the MOU?
Atway will make the motion to hire Mr. Cabezzo as coordinator of transportation pending the approval of the MOU.
Campbell seconds.
Great. So is that, do we have to approve that MOU as well, don't we, John?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Patty sent us
so
a copy of it.
I know, but I don't think it made it onto the agenda.
Ah.
Okay. We just got to make sure we do it. I guess that was just my question. Should we add it as 3B, Patty? So after this?
Sure. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway,
Yes.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua,
She's away from her desk. She walked away.
Instead of Mrs. Klucher,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Trace?
Yes.
Okay. John, so we're going to add 3B, approving the Teamsters Memorandum of Understanding as sent earlier. Do you want to just make a recommendation for that?
Make a recommendation that you accept the, or approve the memorandum of understanding with the Teamsters, and that would be Exhibit 3B.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve that MOU, which, by the way, for all watching, stands for Memorandum of Understanding. So it's basically an amendment to their contract.
Jenny Kluchar makes a motion to accept the MOU with the Teamsters.
Atwood will second.
Okay, any discussion? And roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCaprio?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
I'm honored to ask you to approve the Canfield School Class of 2020, pending completion of course requirements. And that's your exhibit number 5.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent and our heartfelt gratitude and sadness for this wonderful group of graduates, can I have a motion to approve that list as shown in exhibit number 5?
You know what? The cap was going in, all for it. I approved the list of the 2020 graduates.
Kluchar second. Wanted you to make that motion.
John, do you know what the total number is, or does somebody know? Probably somebody does. Is it? It's 220?
Dave, it's Mike. Are you there? Hi, it's 220. 226, I think. Almost positive.
226. Awesome. All right. Any discussion of that? Other than I'm super excited to spend my Friday delivering these diplomas. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yes,
really
yes, you are.
Other than Tracy stole my first choice of
You know what?
routes, but that's okay.
That's my privilege.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think the weather is going to cooperate, right?
Right now, it's hopefully, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
69 and maybe just a little rain.
When do we get our routes? The day of?
No, I'm working on it, Matt. I will get them to you tomorrow, I swear. I got this. They're color-coded and everything. I got this.
All right.
I just ironed my tuxedo, so I'm ready to go.
And are you going to tell us what time to get there, Tracy? Like what time you want us there and where? And
Okay. I'm going to say this once. You guys ready? Be at the high school by 1:15.
Got it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And we've got our masks, our special masks ready to go, right? We've got those.
You know what?
That's exciting.
They were supposed to be delivered today, and I didn't get them yet. So I will make a call tomorrow.
Come on, Jenny. You got to deliver.
Come on, Jenny.
I already delivered the check.
I already delivered Nader's shirt, and I have Dave's coming too.
Awesome.
You know, Judd, I don't know that we clued Judd in on the mask situation, so we're not going to do that because it's a surprise. But
we have extra. I bought 3. I'll give Judd one.
All right.
I
Good.
ordered extra.
Got it.
Yep. So this will be fun. Okay, we need a roll call for that.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Absolutely. Yes.
Item number 5, set a date for special board meeting. And I'm recommending Tuesday, June 30th, 2020 at 12 p.m.
Okay, based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the special board meeting? And we'll explain it here during the discussion part for the newbies.
Matt Campbell motions to approve the special board meeting recommended for Tuesday, June 30th, 2020 at 12 p.m.
Kluchar, second.
Okay, so we do this every year. We've got to do it by some date. Patty can probably fill in the exact details, but it's a fiscal thing. It's her fault.
It's just to wrap up all the loose ends with appropriation amendments and certificate of resources at year end.
Yeah, so our year ends and restarts, and so we've got to wrap all that up for the accounting.
It's just a 5-minute meeting.
Yeah. So we've done this both first thing in the morning and we've done this at lunchtime. I don't know what works best, but it literally is you pop in, we start the meeting, we vote on the those appropriations, and we're done. Okay. So what works for everybody?
That works. I mean, I'll
I'm
make
fine.
whatever work.
I'm off the clock, so.
Would you prefer lunch or would you prefer morning? Go ahead, Trace.
Lunch would work better for me since it's a weekday. I can take my lunch, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Does that work for everybody?
Yep.
Sure.
It should for now. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know where I'm at by then. Like, I don't know if I'll be back out and about.
Okay. Well, and that's fine. I mean, as long as we have 3,
yeah.
As long as this is a pretty, it's more of a formality than anything else. So
yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay. So we'll go at the proposed time of noon. So can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Item
You're up,
number
John.
6, approve class fees for the 2020-2021 exhibit number 6.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the class fee list listed in exhibit number 6?
DeCapua so moves the class fees for 2021.
Kluchar, second.
Did any of these change?
We added ceramics 2, $15. We added microbiology for $10. And we eliminated advanced chem 3 dual credit, and AP English fees. The rest are the same.
Okay, great. Any other discussion there? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes.
Item number 7, review the CHS Cardinal Stadium running track resurfacing bid. And I'd also like to request that you approve that, the low bid.
Okay. Do we have those? Because I don't.
The company and
Yep.
the total bid. So Vasco Sports Contractors, they're out of Massillon. They were $172,197. RT Vernal Paving, $219,450. And Miller Yaunt Paving, they're out of Cortland. That was $205,500.
What was that last one?
205,500. In discussing with the architect, he's worked with Vasco Sports Contractors before, and he thinks that's a really good bid, and he would recommend that, as would Mr. Tulio and I.
I'm sorry, Patty, can you repeat that?
I said Vasco Sports Contractors, who had the low bid out of Massillon. The architect, Tom Mady, has worked with them before and recommends that the company, he has no issues with it at all. And Mr. Tulio and I would also recommend that we accept that bid. He did indicate that they can follow the schedule that we had in place so that this would be done by the end of July. And therefore, we would be able to have a track season next year. Right now, we can't hold any track meets on the track because it's not usable. There was money in the PI fund budgeted for this, and it's actually came in less than what we had anticipated.
Can you say it's the Vasco, V-A-S-C-O?
That's it, yeah.
Where are they at?
Massillon.
Massillon.
That's not who did the field, right? That's a,
No.
No.
So what's the timeline look like on this?
Here, I'll read you what Mr. Mady told me here. He said, Vasco said that a June 8th start date is feasible. That would allow the milling and new asphalt to go down before the July 4th holiday and give a few weeks for the poles to bleed off before new rubber goes down around July 6th through the 10th. Paint striping could occur on July 13th and 14th. New fence posts should be installed before the new asphalt in June, and fence fabric goes on after rubber around July 15th to complete the project.
Does this shut down the field in case any activities or sports were to start back on from a practice perspective? So does it leave the field unusable during this time?
I don't believe so, but I'd probably have to clarify that. John, do you know?
It possibly could. It just depends on when our practices are going to start back up for fall sports. But it shouldn't interfere because we do have the lower level fields, our grass fields that our teams practice on. It would be similar to probably last summer when we had the turf replaced.
What about that? I mean, I have no idea what the situation is with the soccer tournament. Is that tournament definitely off? I don't know who's so loud. Tracy.
Yeah, that's kind of where my question was with the Cardinal Classic. I know they like to use that big field. Now it hasn't officially been canceled, but I think they were just waiting to see if those events would be allowed. So
yeah, we have last
year. I was just going to say last year it wasn't usable, and we ended up having. Was it last year or was I'm trying to think. We ended up
That was
using
last
Gilbert
year.
Road, but that was tough. Yeah, Gilbert Road fields were not
I have a quick question.
conducive.
I'm sorry, I have a quick question. You know, the bid for the new track, I mean, that's a huge chunk of money. I mean, do we know, I know everybody knows RT Vernal. Have we looked into Miller Yount or no?
Have we what?
Have we vetted Miller? Because I mean, they're a mid bid, but what are we looking at as far as quality?
I guess on Tom Mady.
It's the same spec.
John,
I trust Tom Mady's recommendation, and I did ask him that specifically today. Have you worked with this company? You know, are you familiar with? And he said they do a lot of work in Northeast Ohio.
to Tracy's point, I was going to ask John. John, do you know if Mike's had experience with them and any facilities and maybe where he's worked before? I mean, so has he had a relationship to understand what kind of work product they develop or how they do?
No, I couldn't answer that, Mayor.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm asking is because I have knowledge of all three of these companies, and I just want to know that we've vetted the best company.
I guess as
I
far
can
as
check
my
with
recommendation. I'm sorry, Patty, go ahead.
I don't know.
Look, I like low bids, but so if you're saying that the architect has worked with them and he's got good feedback on it, I'd be in support of it. My only question would be to kind of where Tracy's going on the work product. Like we don't want to get what we pay for in regards to is it cheap and is it what kind of warranties on? I don't know. I would just want to make sure that we would get duration out of this. So if that meant paying a little bit more to guarantee that with a different company, but if the architect is saying he's had experience and we can kind of make sure that the quality of the product is strong, I'd be for it.
Well, they all had to bid the same product. So they're bidding the same specs, product, warranty, so forth. I mean, the bid document or the specs were like 40 pages. So I think they have to guarantee the same material and so forth. I can check with him again and just say that you're concerned or want to double check. We're going to have another special board meeting, I think, aren't we? So we could kind of add this to that if you want me to do some more checking.
Yeah, we're going to need a special board meeting next week, so.
Okay, well, let me do a checking.
I would do, I'm sorry, all I would try to figure out, Patty, is if maybe Mike has had any experience with either one and what the feedback has typically been, just to make sure that it's strong in that aspect.
Yeah, and the product, it's not so much the people putting it down, and it's the product that they're using. That's all I'm concerned about.
As far as the product that they're using, it's specified in the bids. We did not accept, nobody put a substitute bid in. Usually companies will put a substitute bid in, and you don't have to accept that substitute bid. That's the beauty of it. So they all three bid the same product. So.
And just for this,
my only other, I keep talking. I'm sorry. I'll shut up after this. I promise. Dave. My only other problem is if we delay this to the next board, that mess up our timeline of trying to get this done. So I don't want to necessarily put this out that far out. You don't have to.
As long as we do it at that next special board meeting, I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do think that makes sense because the bid opening was just today, and we're definitely going to have a board meeting like Monday or Tuesday. So that's going to happen. Just for the sake of the new board members as well as the public, so Tom Mady, just to give you some background, he is essentially the architect, oversight architect that the district uses to watch over any sort of construction project. It was something that happened early in my first term, where it was decided that we really needed somebody to keep an eye on these projects when they go on, that basically works for the district and isn't the bidder. So that is the role of Tom Mady, so that you guys understand how that all kind of fits into this. So he's looking out for us. That is that's his job to the district. So for these things. Okay, so let's just table that. I mean, I don't think we had a motion, so it's not really a true table, but let's just put that on the agenda for that special that we're going to need to schedule.
Okay. Let's move on then. Item number 8. Award school bus bid to Myers Equipment Corporation, $85,725. Purchase order to be issued July 1, 2020. We did receive some grant money to assist us in the purchasing of this vehicle. And Patty can go into more detail about it.
You know, let's do that during discussion.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the purchasing of the school bus from Myers Equipment at a cost of $85,725?
Kluchar will move to, I'm sorry, I lost my place. Kluchar will move to award the school bus bid to Myers Equipment Corp. for $85,725. Purchase order to be issued July 1st, 2020.
Campbell seconds.
All right, go ahead, Patty.
Just going to say we only received one bid, which was Myers. We did have a couple other companies take out the bid packets, but they didn't return any. And Myers, of course, is local. We received a little over $23,000 through the CCIP to assist with purchasing a bus. As long as you take an active bus out of service, you're allowed to use that money to purchase a new bus. So while we weren't planning on buying a new bus this year, we felt we couldn't pass up $23,000 toward one. So that will also be out of the PI fund, next year's PI fund.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. Whenever we can, leverage grants, which doesn't come to Canfield very often, I think that's an important thing to do because we know we're going to need these buses eventually. So, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Moving on. Item number 9, adopt resolution number 66-2020, contingency plan for the 2019-2020 school year, and that's your exhibit number 7.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the contingency plan detailed in exhibit number 7?
Matt Campbell. Motions to approve the resolution number 66, 2020 contingency plan for the 2019-2020 school year, exhibit 7.
Kluchar will second.
I don't know who won that one, Patty. Klucher won. Yeah. So, and just, I guess, mostly for the sake of the people listening. So this contingency plan really is, it's required under state law, the laws that are being made up as we go here. It kind of details what has already been done. I don't know. There's a whole lot of other comments, John. I don't know if you have any further comments about that.
Well, we had to have this contingency plan because we didn't have blizzard bags. The law provided, the Ohio Revised Code provided us to have blizzard bags. But under the former administration, we did not elect to do blizzard bags because we were on hours. We are over the state minimum, and we just didn't feel it was necessary for the blizzard bag. But in order to get our online classes and accept it for this year, we have to have a contingency plan. And this is the resolution for the plan. And item number 10, which you'll be asked to adopt, is basically the plan that went along with this resolution. Very general guidelines. And I'll explain some more about that at that time.
Gotcha. Any other comment, discussion on the resolution itself? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Item number 10, adopt a remote learning plan, and that's your exhibit number 8.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the remote learning plan detailed in exhibit number 8?
Atway will make the motion to adopt the remote learning plan in exhibit 8.
Klucher will second.
John?
The plan, if you read it, is a very general plan. It goes along with the contingency plan that you just passed. We had leadership meetings with our teachers, and we took their input. The administrative team took their input, and we put together that very general plan. This is a living document. This plan, if we go into remote learning for next year, is going to have to be expanded and updated. And we wanted to give the new superintendent an opportunity really to review the plan and have some input as to what he feels is necessary for our district. Again, it's a very general plan. Gave the teachers a lot of freedom, which we thought they really needed because we were thrown into this overnight, basically. So that's what's before you. And it was shared with the district leadership team.
So this plan, John, it just strictly goes along with the 2019-2020 year. So if for the 2020-2021 year, a new plan could be generated.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
The superintendent has the authority to do that.
Yeah, you answered both my questions. Once we pass it, will everybody get a copy in writing? Well, it won't matter because we're at the end of this year. Never mind. I'm thinking, never mind.
Okay, any other discussion, comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Item number 11, adopt resolution number 67-2020 regarding supplemental and or pupil activity contracts for the 2019-2020 school year. And that's your exhibit number 9.
Based on the recommendation, the superintendent can have a motion to approve resolution number 67-2020, shown in exhibit number 9, please.
Canfield makes a motion, or DeCapwell makes a motion to accept resolution 67, 2020 in Canfield, I might add, in Canfield.
Campbell seconds.
John, you want to fill us in on this a little bit?
I'm going to defer this to Patty.
This is just stating that the spring sports, which were just starting to get underway and not able to be completed, that we would pay 50% of the wages to the coaches, and board authorizes that.
Okay. Any discussion of that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yeah.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Item number 12, adopt resolution number 68-2020 regarding the 2019-2020 evaluation. That's your exhibit number 10.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve resolution number 68-2020 regarding evaluations for the 2019-2020 school year, listed detailed in exhibit number 10?
Atway will make the motion to adopt the resolution in the exhibit 10.
DeCapwell seconds. DeCapwell seconds.
Any discussion? John, you want to give us the cliff notes?
Due to the pandemic, we were unable to complete all of the evaluations of all of the staff that were up for this year. And the law that was passed, HB 97, granted the school districts the choice of eliminating evaluations for this year, putting them off for a year. Starting next year, we would start all over with the same group of people and evaluate them. In this way, everybody will be evaluated. Hopefully.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, hopefully we're in school. Okay, any other discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
You're muted.
Mute, Jenny.
I'm very sorry.
Mrs. Klucher?
Kluchar votes yes.
Mr. Wilkinson?
Yes.
Okay, item number 13, adopt two policies. And that's your exhibit number 11. The first one is 8420-01, and that's your pandemic and other medical emergencies. This is a new policy. And then 8450, the control of casual contact communicable diseases, and that's just a revised policy.
Based on the recommendation, the superintendent can have a motion to adopt the new policy 8420.01 and the revision to policy 8450, listed in exhibit number 11.
Can I just say I never thought we'd be here? Just saying. Okay, DeCapua motions to approve our Exhibit number 11, special update coronavirus pandemic and its significant other.
Can I have a second?
Sure, we'll second.
I got that one.
Atway won that one. All right, any further discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to donations. That's your exhibit number 12, as presented.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the cash donations in the amount of $10,539.40, and with special mention to Cars, the Cars Auto Repair Company out there on 224 there in the township, who donated $10,000 to our cafeteria to help needy families. Can I have a motion to approve that, please?
DeCapua motions to approve our donations of May 2020.
Can I have a second?
Campbell, seconds.
Yeah, I mean that's very impressive. That's a big donation, and I know that the families that helps, that has helped and will continue to help, are definitely very gracious for that donation. And that brings our total for this school year so far to $71,881.28. So that's a pretty significant amount of donations for the community helping the district. So can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Dave, before I go to the superintendent's report, this goes right along with our donations. It's not on this list. The Dinosaur Corporation that works with Mr. Rubin and our middle school students, 8th grade students, they donated, they switched over and started making personal protective equipment for our healthcare, and they donated about 40 face masks, the full face mask, for our secretaries and our staff if they so desire to use it. So we're very thankful for that too. Okay. All right, superintendent's report. Well, basically, once again, I think our administrators stole all my thunder. But as you can see, as you heard this evening, we've made plans for closing of our schools. Our administrators have spent countless hours. If anybody thinks that the administrators haven't been working hard during this time, they're really hitting themselves, because we spent a number of hours trying to plan the best possible way to close our schools down and protect the health and safety of all of our employees. I have to give a big shout out. I know Mr. Moldavon did, but I have to really thank Candy Reed and Anthony Hoban, along with Tracy and the senior class officers, for all of the work that they put in on the graduation. And I think it's going to be probably one of the best in this area. I don't know of anybody, any other school district that's personally hand delivering their diplomas to their senior class. What an honor I think that is. Again, Tracy, thanks for, I know you put hours and hours in along with Candy and Anthony and the kids. I want to really thank you for that. We've been, again, researching different plans for the startup of school for next year. We did, and I think I forwarded to you, or you've seen the very limited guidelines that were sent out by the state so far. But we're working hard on trying to come up with different scenarios to look at, to see where we're at and what's going to be the best possible solution for Canfield schools come this fall. And as soon as we can get more information from the state, our new superintendent comes on board. We definitely want input from our new superintendent. We can finalize those plans. Along with that, and I know a couple of the administrators mentioned it, we're going to survey our staff, our parents, and our students. The staff at all levels will get the same survey, same with the parents, with some minor adjustments for the high school and middle school and elementary. But we hope to have those out probably by the end of next week. I did forward you the virtual art show that our kids participated in for the senior class. And I think, Dave, you spoke to it. It's just incredible, the talent of our students. If you had an opportunity to go through and view that, it's just amazing the ability that our kids have.
Hey, John,
Yes.
I just have to say that the art show is one of my most favorite things to do every year. I love walking through the gym, or it's just amazing because it's not just high school. You've got the elementary, you've got the middle school. It's an amazing experience.
It sure is. People throughout the community enjoy coming to that art show every year. It's just not the parents of our students, but it's former students, grandparents. It's a very enjoyable evening, that's for sure. And finally, I just want to touch base on I had conversations with the Flag Football League. I know I sent out some information to you. They're requesting to use our facilities. Our facilities are currently by the Ohio High School Athletic Association really shut down until June 1. I did call the health department and spoke to the health department. Mr. Hallis, Ron Hallis at the health department. They have no guidelines right now for flag football. I did call the president of the association, Flag Football Association, explain to them right now our facilities are off limits. We're not going to have people out there. I directed him to call Mr. Hallis, and as soon as they get information, then I'll bring it forward to you and see if you'll permit them to use our facility. And basically, that's all I have for you right now. Do you have any questions?
Awesome. I don't have anything.
Thank you, John.
Can I go back to one item?
Sure.
The track bids. I reached out to Mike, and he said that this company did the fields at Ohio State when he was there, and he has no problems in recommending them or supporting that bid. He had seen the bids earlier. Know if that changes whether you want to vote on it tonight or not.
I think I'd rather look at those bids and stuff, and let's just do it on that special, because we've got to do one either Monday or Tuesday. In fact, I was just going to try to set that time. So.
Okay.
Can I get some idea here? I'd like to set a special board meeting. Oh, Monday doesn't work. I keep forgetting. It's already Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how about Tuesday? Can we set a special for 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Everybody good with that? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. It shouldn't be a terribly long one, but it's an important one. So, okay. Anybody else have anything before we go into executive session? Okay. So we're gonna vote to go into executive session to consider the employment of a public employee and also to prepare for negotiations with employees. So we've got two. I don't expect that we will take any action after we come back from executive session. I mean, obviously we're going to come back on the video, but for those listening, I don't expect any action after that. So with that, can I have a motion to enter executive session to consider the employment of a public employee and to prepare for negotiations with employees?
That way, we'll make the motion to enter an executive session for consideration of employment of a public employee and to prepare for negotiations.
DeCapua seconds.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Okay. Let's see. George, I'll text you when we're done so you can come back, and I'm gonna kick the rest of you off. But thanks for everybody's help.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
George.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Our only final thing, we're out of executive session. The final thing is just to adjourn the meeting. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Nader Atlee makes a motion to adjourn this evening.
Yeah, DeCapwell was second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Thanks for
Good
staying
night.
with us.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, George.